This should be pretty common to a lot of you who play Medieval Total War a lot, but I'm going to show it anyways because I happen to enjoy this particular campaign quite a bit.
Opening a new trade lane, my liege.
So, I'm going to talk about a few things that might be new to some people who don't play the game much. This yellow face right here means that the people are content, but it doesn't mean that they're particularly happy. You can see here that public order is at about 90%. What I'm doing right now is I'm building a council chambers. These will allow me to build diplomats.
Yes, my lord.
Who can do diplomacy with other nations. But they will also raise the morale of the city. You can also train troops in the city. Last turn I trained a new unit of spearmen and a unit of archers.
My liege.
I'm currently besieging this city here, Cardiff, which is a Welsh city, and I am playing as the Welsh. This is King Llewelyn, known as Llewelyn the Last. He was the last great Welsh prince, and he was the last sovereign leader of the Welsh for quite a long time, until the 1400s.
As you command,
I had this city of Cardiff under siege.
We shall prevail in this siege, sire.
The British currently own it.
My liege. Yes, my liege.
Just gonna go ahead and swell his ranks because I really just want to show you guys a battle here. These are mercenaries that you can hire. 2 units of Welsh spearmen and a unit of Welsh skirmishers. As I'm just doing this video just to show you some basic stuff about this, I'm gonna go ahead and hire them.
By your will, sire, we shall engage.
You can build siege equipment to take on cities, rams, ladders, and siege towers. I don't have to do that because I have catapults. Now Llewelyn gets a bonus against the English because he's such a brave prince and he's willing to fight against the British. Llewelyn's nerve to resist the English has made him a national hero, a man who raises his countrymen's spirits more than the average monarch. +1 command, +2 authority, +3 morale on the battlefield, and +3 command when fighting against English. It says here that he's so bold and confident he could lead an angry mob to conquer an empire. Make it a night attack, and he's a true master of warfare. What this means is that he'll have a lot of morale for the troops. The troops are going to feel quite inspired.
Muster your courage, men! We march into battle!
Being Welsh, I really like this campaign quite a bit. Gives you a chance to fight back against the nasty, nasty English. King Henry and Edward I, who would later be known as Edward Longshanks. Cardiff is a Welsh city, so it belongs to me. I feel a bit possessive about it. Llewelyn will give a speech before the battle.
Lads, killing old men and children is a dirty business. But if that's all the enemy send against us...
Just a cheesy one-liner for this bit of battle. This is what a normal Welsh general looks like. Llewelyn actually has a unique bodyguard. Well, he has a unique model. This right here is a royal banner that royal kings and princes use. It's the royal banner for the Welsh royal family. Suffer general here is Meridud, probably supposed to be his uncle. What I'm doing right now is I'm positioning my troops to attack the city. This should be a pretty short battle. It is a siege. I do have to take this city, but it shouldn't take very long. Especially with all the troops I have. ready to start the battle now. These are safe here. These are longbowmen that the Welsh get. They have really cool uniforms. I like these outfits they wear. They look a little bit druidic. Troops are actually within range of the British longbowmen, so I'm going to move them back. Marioned spearmen. These are really decent spearmen. They have good armor, they have good attack, they also have a lot of stamina. And the mercenary version is pretty similar. These are Welsh skirmishers, they have javelins. They're also decent hand-to-hand. I have positioned these longbowmen in loose position. This will make sure that they don't take on too many casualties. This catapult is having a little bit of difficulty taking down this gate. You can actually see how much damage is done. This one over here is damaged 36%. This one is still 0%. This is Welsh Lu cavalry. Instead of having swords for backup, they have short spears. They also have good armor, so they're a pretty good heavy cavalry unit. You only start with a few when the campaign begins. Llewelyn, as I mentioned, has a unique model. His general's bodyguard also has armor upgrades. Unlike Merrydead's general's bodyguard has the standard armor that they start with. And this is what a normal Welsh general looks like. These are Gwent Raiders. They're light swordsmen. They have light armor. They have a lot of stamina, like a lot of Welsh units do. They can run around all day and not get tired. It's quite handy. The safe here also have really good stamina. I'm going to move these longbowmen up so maybe they can help. Longbowmen can be in loose formation. Archers in general can be in loose formation because it actually helps them fight more accurately. They have enough room to move their arms around. But I often use them in close formation just because they will mass their missiles more and they'll do more damage to the volleys. But like this, I can spread out my volley and have arrows coming in from all over. So far, I am winning. 2% of my men are dead, 3% of the enemy are dead. But then again, you have to keep in mind that the enemy have a much smaller army. There are 47 English longbowmen here. I have a whole lot more than that. 67 in this unit, 72 in this one, 75, 75. I'm gonna go ahead and speed this up. Otherwise the video will be too long.
The gates are down.
One of the gates is now open. Oh, both of them are open. That's handy. just gonna go ahead and have everything advance. I can even bring up the catapults. I can actually use those inside the city if I want. Having my units run. This is my city. I'm just taking back what's mine, you know.
Our soldiers have proved their worth today. The enemy's walls belong to us now.
This particular expansion also allows you to play as the Irish, and you would be fighting against the British there as well. You could also play as the Scottish and the Norwegians. During this particular time period, the Norwegians were harassing the English coast, trying to retake York, which they had previously held. They landed in Scotland, though, which is a pretty bad place to land considering the Highlanders and the Highlands in which they land are a pretty dangerous place to fight. They've got really strong enemies there that are not particularly afraid of the Vikings. Of course, by this time, they're not really the Vikings anymore. They are the kingdoms of the Danes and the Norwegians. Still very good warriors, but also so are the Scots. So a battle has actually started now, you can tell by the music.
Our men are winning the battle. If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
My Gwent Raiders are in position to fight back against the English here. Gonna have the spears go against the cavalry, and the swordsmen will go after the infantry. Also have my infantry that are coming up the back. Come up as well. Pull up the cavalry. I particularly enjoy this expansion. I think the music in this particular expansion is also really good. So now my cavalry and my spears have surrounded the enemy from behind. This is the enemy captain. He's in a unit of 3 men right now, 2 men. He's also surrounded by spears. That's probably not going to end well for him. And there we go. He's now dead.
Sent the base cur to hell.
It's the announcement for King Philip having died. Let's see if I can find Llewelyn.
The enemy are
He's back here.
They have lost
And
half
Merrydead
their men.
is right up here. It's a lot of spears. Welsh spearmen are really good too. They will serve you really well throughout your campaign. All you really need to build is these Merionid spearmen and the safe here, or safe work. It can be a good idea to build some of these Gwent Raiders. Gwent Raiders are nowhere near as good as other people's swordsmen, but they are definitely decent, and they have a lot of stamina. They can stand in battle for a lot longer than a lot of other soldiers can. When you have this many soldiers, it makes the battle a lot easier. It's almost like cheating, really. But not really, because if I wanted to continue, this might not be a bad idea to have hired these mercenaries to help me get a good start.
Lord, our men are in command of the city.
The mercenaries are good soldiers too. They're very competent. They're a bit pricey though. These Welsh spearmen are just a little bit worse than my Merionid spearmen, which I can actually create normally. And the same story goes for the Welsh skirmishers. The Welsh skirmishers are actually a little bit worse, but a little bit more expensive than the regular Welsh skirmishers I can just quickly make. The reason why they make them that way is, let's say you're playing as England or the Scots or Ireland and you want to hire some Welsh mercenaries. Well, they're going to be worth a little bit, they're going to cost you a little bit more because they don't actually normally fight for your nation. Whereas my regular soldiers, like my Gwent Raiders and my Merionid Spearmen, much more affordable for me. Llewelyn's pulled up into the battle a little bit further, and Merrydead has fallen back here. This is a really good track that's playing right now. I hear it when I'm fighting these sieges quite a bit. War of Kings, it's titled.
This is a clear victory that goes to only men of great virtue.
Now the men are going to
and valor.
celebrate because they have captured Cardiff. So yeah, it's a really fun expansion that lets you do quite a bit. It's a lot of fun to play as the Welsh against the English too. As the Welsh, you only start with a few provinces, and you have a pretty small army. The English have tons and tons of troops. You will have to contend with a lot of them in order to survive. Thank you for watching. I'll have more videos for you soon.